Welcome to the Six People Podcast. Looking forward to chatting with you again. Again, we have our special guest, Christy. Christy, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome, awesome. So, just wanted to give you a couple updates about the conferences that are going on. Obviously, we have two different conferences going on. One in Ohio, again, which would be the third annual conference, and brand new in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I was just told that you can't call it the first annual, because you never had it
It's
before.
never been
Yeah, so you
okay.
can't call it the first annual, but we will call it
Some people have
after.
nothing better to do.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I was told that, but really? Okay. But yeah, next year we'll call it our second annual. So we'll be able to
Okay.
do that. So we're looking forward to that. We have some very good speakers lined up for both conferences. Really looking forward to that. We have the website up and running, right, Christy? Everything. Yeah,
Yes.
finally. We're still running into some snags here and there, but we have all the information on there. A couple more updates that we're going to have for the guest speakers that we're still lining up. And the connections are there. You can register. There's been several registrations already. I'll have you know that Wisconsin is leading with the six, and Ohio has four. So Ohio, you got to step up your
Okay.
game. Get your registrations in.
We should give an update on every podcast.
Yeah, hey, you gotta have like a two horses racing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, so we have that all set up, and the rooms are discounted rates. Those are all on there. So we really do have a very good website. It's easily to navigate and very informative there. So we're looking forward to that. And we got some sponsors lined up. And if you have any sponsors that you wanted to reach out to, just let us know who they are. We'll take care of it from here. We have a new staff member. His name is Kenny Farrar from Toledo, Ohio, and he's going to be taking care of our sales and our finding our sponsors. So he's going to be taking care of that for us. So that's going to be a huge weight off of
Mhm.
my shoulders. And he's going to be helping us out with that. But still need the contact. So if you know organizations or vendors that would be interested in supporting us, just let me know or let Kenny know at kenny.the6bugle dot or Kenny at the6bugle.org. And that is our new website, our new email address. I can be reached at info at the6bugle.org. All right. Hopefully that all made sense. So,
And if anything's not working on the website, just reach out because it's a website. We think it's all working, but it's there's just times where something doesn't work. So just holler.
right. And George did a fantastic job putting that together,
Mhm.
and I can't say enough good things about George and everything that he's done for us. So we're really looking forward to continue working with him. So everything's great. All right. So that being said, just some updates there. So Christy, what do you want to talk about today?
I'm like really surprised. Rudy doesn't even know what I'm talking about. I have a
Right.
list. No. Okay, I didn't know how many podcasts we were going to record. So I think this one we're going to talk about boundaries
Okay.
because, and I know some of you want to sigh and some of you want to cry, and I get it, but I really want to break this down simply in a couple minutes because I feel like boundaries is something sometimes it's misunderstood. People think they know they need them, but they don't know how to put them into effect, or you've tried to enforce boundaries in your life, but you haven't known how to do it the right way, and it's caused relationship breakdowns and extra stress. And if you're a people pleaser, and I know a lot of you in this field are used to serving everybody and doing everything, and you never use that two-letter word no, and you're always giving and you're never setting boundaries, or never saying no. And so I really just want to kind of simplify this for you. It's not always easy depending on if this is in your personal professional life, depending on the different people you're dealing with, but there is a simple process to do it, and I think it gets easier the more you do it. And I think the more you do it and you realize, okay, like I didn't lose all my friends and family. I didn't get fired. That people will step up to the plate. And if they won't in your life, they're probably not meant to be there to begin with. But the real solid people in your life will learn to respect your boundaries if you can do it right. So there's three steps, you know, in clearly enforcing boundaries in your life. And the first one is you have to set boundaries. So, and to do that, you really have to ask yourself, what am I willing to give? this can apply to your personal and professional life. If it's in your personal life, how much time, how much energy, how much effort, if you're involved in everything, if you're that person that's raising their hand all the time to be overcommitted for everything, it's just asking, what do I have to give? And knowing that going into it, so that when you are presented with an opportunity or a question or something, you can refer back and say, this is what I have to give, or I don't have to give it. And so you need to be able to set a boundary and say, I'm not willing, like, for example, a boundary I set with myself is I don't look at my phone in the morning until I'm ready for the day. Like I don't get up and immediately, my phone's not even in my bedroom, it's in my office, and I don't get up and start answering the world's problems until I'm showered, I'm ready, I've ate, I'm taken care of. And it's a boundary that I just got used to setting. So everybody knows, like, you're not going to get a hold of Christy in the morning, so don't call me if you're dying. And so like, and so it's understanding that, what is that boundary that you're going to set? And then once you set that, now, if it's with somebody else, you need to decide, I'm only going to spend, maybe you have somebody in your life that's draining you. But maybe it's somebody that you can't just get rid of. Maybe it's not just a casual friend. Maybe it's a family member or somebody. But then you have to decide, how much time or energy am I willing to give them? And at what times of the day am I willing to give that energy and time? And so, decide what that boundary is and set it. And then the second step is you have to clearly communicate it. I had a coaching client once that she was like, I'm just setting a boundary with my brother and I'm just not talking to him anymore. And this was a lady in her 60s. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. That's like the way to destroy a relationship. You have
Yeah.
to clearly communicate the boundary to the other person. And the best way to do that is to put it back on yourself. I've had to do this. I've had to do this with my own, mother in the past. And it's where you say, I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm deciding to take better care of myself. And so, you're not going to be able to get a hold of me after 7 o'clock at night, or I can't talk on the phone every day, or whatever the boundary is. I'm clearly communicating that, but I'm putting it on myself. I'm not saying you're an annoying drain on me, I don't want to talk to you. I'm saying I'm growing and I am not going to be available during these times. So they know what to expect, because if you have a relationship that's been 10, 20, 30 years going one way, and then all of a sudden you shift and start acting another way, and you don't clearly communicate that to the person, they're left in the dark. Like, what did I do? Is she mad? What's going on? And that just causes a whole bunch of unnecessary drama. And so if you just clearly communicate how you're changing, what efforts and sometimes that will make the other person even go, I should do this in my own life, And then the third step is you have to enforce the boundary. So you have to set them, you have to clearly communicate, and you have to enforce it. So don't tell, your family that they can't text you all day long while you're at work and then answer every text message. You have to enforce the boundary you set. And so, because people will take you as far as you let them take you.
Sure.
And so I was in the gym the other day leaving, and I had one of the ladies I work out with was laying on the floor, and she looked up at me and she's like, and she's in her 60s too, I need to talk to you sometime and I need to read your stuff because I can't get anything done in my life. My kids are so high maintenance. Her kids are in her 40s, and they just, I'm jumping at their every whim. And I don't know. I don't know when I'm ever going to make time for me. And the real answer is she's not, until she decides to set the boundary and enforce it, because they're used to her. They're used to calling and her answering and jumping. And so, but you need to look, and maybe some of you need to set boundaries in your professional life more than your personal, and maybe vice versa. But I would encourage you, just pick one area, one thing, one person that you need to set a boundary with, and try this out. And I promise you won't die. Like, this is not going to be as painful as it feels uncomfortable, because it's just not normal. But the more you do it, the more people, the right people, will respect you. And the more you'll have a healthier relationship, because there won't be that resentment that you're always giving, always giving, always giving, and never taking care of yourself.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. When you start to incorporate that, people respect you for that. Don't feel bad that they're not going to love you anymore, or they're going to speak poorly of you. They'll respect you more because of that. And if you continue to give that positive value, they're going to appreciate it, and they'll be patient enough for it, so that when you do receive it, it's going to be well received, as opposed to just them just dumping their issues and problems. I call them bricks. I don't mind you unloading your bricks on me, but I'm not going to carry your bricks for you. right?
Yes.
And but I
Mhm.
will help you unload some of those bricks and along the way.
Mhm.
But it has to be on your time because your time is valuable too. And once you start, the old saying, you can't pour into other people's cups when your cup is empty. So
Yes.
that all goes into play. So absolutely, that's all. That's some great advice,
Mhm.
Christy. And I think it's very important for us to realize that it's okay to look out for number one. It's okay to take care of yourself, and it's okay to let others know that that's all I'm doing. I need to take care of myself
Mhm.
first before I can take care of anybody else.
And it's not selfish. A lot of times I think we feel that. I know I have in the past. And, the reason I got myself burnt out, when I have is because I feel like, "Oh, I can't say no. I want to help people. I
Mhm.
don't want to look selfish. I don't want to look self-absorbed." And it's really not that at all. Like you can't at some point you're going to hit a wall, what
Mm.
physically, emotionally, mentally, if you don't stop and take care of yourself, which that's another podcast we could talk about self-care, but you've got the way to start doing that is set boundaries so you have the space and the time and the energy to take care of yourself.
Right, right. And that's just so important. We need to be able to do that. And in order to be ready to help some because there are some people
Yes.
that do need our help, right? And it does make you
Mhm.
feel good. I feel good about even when I'm exhausted, and then somebody calls me, they need some help. You know what? Yeah, okay, let me just take 15 minutes before I go to bed and I'll take care of that for you because it does kind of make you feel good that you're helping other people. But man, there comes to a point where it's when you starts to depleting you
Mhm.
and that sense of helping others doesn't really fill your cup anymore. And it's just becoming more and more draining. So keep an eye out.
Yes.
That's very important. Good points, Christy.
Yes. So hopefully that helps. I know this is every time I do an event or speaking or talk or a workshop, like this is always something, even if we're not on this topic, it's always something that we come back to because I think it's a foundation for you being able to grow personally and professionally. Because I can give you the greatest playbook in the world to boost your relationships or your communication or your skill set. But if you can't find the time or the energy to do it and know how to set boundaries, then it falls apart. So I think this is just one of those foundations for growth.
Right. And you have to do it. You
Mhm.
can learn
Yes.
as much as you want and read as much as you want and listen to podcasts as much as you want. But if you don't put those into action, you're really not gaining anything.
Mhm.
Chris Robinson calls it get out of the house. Get out of the house, which
Yes.
means do something with what you just learned. Do something with what you just read.
Yes.
Do something with what you just found out about. And
Mhm.
because if you don't, it just all sounds good and it feels good for the moment, and then you go right back into the groove that's running you down, and that's not good.
Yes.
All
So
right. Well, thank you
so
very
go
much,
do it.
Christy. Yeah, yeah, go do it
Yes.
and reach out to us at any time. We're here to help. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and like and subscribe to our podcast. We'll have that available here for you. And we're looking forward to chatting with you again sometime soon. So, anything else to close, Christy?
I don't think, but get signed up for these events in September, Ohio or Wisconsin, and bring people with you. Because
Yes.
what's going to happen is you're going to go there, you're going to get excited, filled up, you're going to have a great experience. Hit my microphone, and then you're going to like come think, oh, I should have brought Mary and John and Sally and everybody with me, so just do it. You won't be disappointed. So think of
Right.
somebody in your field that could benefit from this, that's
Yeah.
not, that is willing to make the effort to come and invite
Sure.
them. I would
And,
encourage you to do
and
that.
and we've had that before. We had people ask, well, I have some friends on the PD side that might be interested. Hey, it's not just about fire. It's about anybody that could use some of the topics that we talk about, and we try to hit as much topics as possible to better improve yourself and improve your lifestyle and improve your work environment. So yeah, feel free to invite anybody you like, and we hope that they can grow just as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us this week. We certainly do appreciate it, and we'll be back again next time. So take care.